Hey, Andrew, welcome to the UWM podcast. How are you today?
I'm very good, just watching the markets. Thank you. What about you? All
I'm
good?
great. Yes, doing good. So, Andrew's a 600K funded trader with UWM, and today he's doing his first ever interview with us, and he just got his profit withdrawal today. Was the process fast?
Yeah, it was very fast, especially since talking on Twitter with you guys. I think it took like 15 minutes to get the payout via crypto, which was nice. One of the
Perfect.
fastest.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate that. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into trading, how old you are, and where you're from.
So I'm 24. I'm from Romania, Bucharest, the capital. I've been trading for since I was 18. I started first diving into trading. At first was binary options and then went into Forex through the same route, influencers, Instagram, wanted to have a Lambo. Um, but that's not really the dream. I mean, the reality is different. So I just grew a passion for trading, to be honest. I wanted to make money online and I thought trading is one of the best and fastest way to make money, especially when you don't have any money. No, that's why I chose trading.
Yeah, it makes sense. And would you say growing up as a child, you had this like entrepreneurial like instinct in you?
Yeah, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Um, I don't know. I think some people are born like that. I don't think something influenced me that much when I was young. I think I just had that in me. So I did do some businesses before going full time into trading, but I can proudly say I never worked one day in my life for someone else. So my entire life, I just managed to do it on my own, to survive on my own. So
That's really
yeah.
cool. And
Yeah.
did you have any other side businesses that you started before trading?
Yeah, I did some e-commerce shops even here locally and drop shipping. So that's how I started. Before that, I did some marketing. So I learned marketing because I knew I need to learn some skills in order to make money. So marketing was, of course, the first one. And I did catch a nice wave when basically Facebook ads were becoming popular. Not a lot of people were running them. Kind of understood how to run them again by spending time. So I leveraged that skill to basically start making some money. But then everything kind of changed before COVID, so I had to adapt and go full time into trading.
And how did you learn about trading? Who introduced you? Where did you see it online?
Just Instagram, the flexing and everything. That's how I discovered trading. Back then, there wasn't really a lot of information. I think you had like baby pips and a few YouTubers that were doing it. So nobody really introduced me. I just found it on my own and then tried to learn from this kind of influencers, but realized you don't really have anything to learn. So that's when I decided to put the work in myself and basically try to understand what happens on the charts.
Yeah. And for you, is time or money more important to you?
I think definitely time is more important. Um, when I kind of talk about this every single day, especially with my girlfriend, but time is way more important than money. The thing is, nowadays you need to trade your time for money, and the best way to do it is from leveraging high income skills. So you don't have to trade that much time to get money, and instead have the freedom and have the time to do whatever you want. I think people waste their time in a job, and then they get caught in that rat race where they can't stop working because they don't have money. So I think early on you need to invest your time into making more money, and then you can enjoy. Basically, if you can become financially free by 30, let's say, then you have your life to live how you want, because that's why we basically work for money, right? For freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you feel like as you've been more and more successful over the years, you would say that you kind of see how like money isn't a big enough incentive now, and that you need a bigger purpose?
Yeah, definitely, man. But this I never thought about money as something. I didn't put it on a pedestal, you know. I didn't really think of money as much. Even my first big payout, which was around 40 something $1,000, um, didn't really, I don't know, didn't really flinch me. You know, it just hit the bank account. I was like, great, what's next? I've always been thinking about the next thing and greater things. Even now, uh, money is just, it's just an object, and then you need to find bigger goals than you that you want to make to elevate yourself. Money is just like the first stepping stone, to be honest.
Yeah, so you're basically seeing trading as your vehicle to get to the next destination in your life.
Yeah, exactly. Trading is very good to even become a millionaire. I did that just by trading. So I did make a lot of money from trading, but then you basically kind of hit a cap uh, before going into like institutional capital, not prop firms. Prop firms is the first one, and then bigger capital. But for that, you do like it's a whole other other league, you know. So I think trading can be a very good skill to get to that first step of making. Let's say everyone thinks about $10,000 a month, like their goal, where they can live comfortable, and I think trading can definitely be the easiest one you can use to get there. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And it sounds like you have some big plans in the process right now. Want to talk us a bit about your community and how it's going with that?
Yeah, sure. So my community is called NFX Trading. I started it about 3 years ago in Romania. I did it for the Romanian people because they were kind of asking me to teach them. So I did that. It grew quite a bit. We're almost at 1,000 students, which is
Wow.
amazing. Yeah, people do change their lives, but lately I want to grow the company. I want to grow the brand, so I'm expanding it uh, worldwide. Let's say to all English speaking individuals. One of the reason is the mentality. I think people from Europe, like the other countries, and also USA, that area, they're more open minded to this kind of stuff. Eastern Europe is kind of closed just because of our history. You know, people are used to just work jobs and not really think more than that. So my goal for the next 1-2 years is to expand it as much as possible worldwide, because I really do think, especially coming from a real trader, real payouts, real everything is real. I think I can help a lot of people, and I enjoy that also. I enjoy teaching people. I know it's just some satisfaction. So I think that's one of my bigger goals, let's say, like a passion.
That's cool. And do you feel like having this makes you a better trader?
Yeah, of course it does make you a better trader because people look up to you. So you can't really fuck up when trading.
Yeah,
Of course, every trader makes mistakes, but it does help you a lot running a community, having students. It does help you with discipline a lot. Brings you back to line when you want to over risk or you want to take a stupid trade. You think twice, um, because yeah, it's normal. You want to set an example, and the same thing for prop firms. They also really make you discipline with all the rules. So I think these two things really help you as a trader to get to the next level.
definitely. And do you feel like, some days you wake up and you realize like, you can't let these people down because, this is like you're a symbol to them.
Yeah, of course. Every day, but you kind of get used to it, living under the, not really pressure, but living like you wake up every day, you have your students, you have your charts, you do the same thing again. For some people, it's stressful, but I think with stress becomes normal after some time. So I don't really think about it that much, but yeah, I do feel that a little bit of pressure.
What would you say? What are three things you would say that really has helped you get to this level that you are in trading right now?
What are the top things? I think first, ever since I started trading, my two goal, of course, in the first few months, my goal was to make money, like everyone else. But
Yeah,
after that, after I analyzed trading a little bit more, I realized that you need to focus on the right things in order to have results. So instead of focusing on money or returns, I focused on two simple things, which is to be disciplined every day and to be consistent every day on what I'm doing. So every day I would analyze the same pair at the same times, use the same discipline, the same trading plan, the same setups. And I did that every single day. That was my only objective, because us as people can't really focus on a lot of things. But if you only focus on two things, really simple stuff, this discipline and consistency, do the same thing every single day. And then I wasn't really looking at results. I wasn't looking at the money. I could have lived comfortably. So just focused on that, and my trading really grew by a lot by focusing on those two things.
So mainly, you were very process driven versus outcome driven.
Yeah, of course. In order to be successful in anything, you need to focus on your inputs more than your outputs.
Absolutely. You want to
Yeah.
take us through some of the trades that you've taken recently and that's helped you pass your phase one and your phase two?
Yeah, I can share two setups on EURUSD that I want to share these setups. First of all, because almost every trades that I take, which are more like intraday, I do share them with my trading community. So this was a very nice setup that I think I also took on the challenge phases. When I see a setup, so for example here on EURUSD, the sell setup from this point towards this low, I can split that setup in multiple trades. So I can scalp it towards the objective or can take multiple trades. So the way I trade, the most simple and efficient way to trade is just go pro trend, wait for the retracement, wait for confirmation and the times, and then just basically trade that. So here we did have bullish daily structure, but we hit a weekly level and then we started rejecting. Daily wasn't really bearish yet, but 4-hour was really going down. So after we had a big impulse to the downside, I'm just waiting for the retracement. For that I do use don't really use Fibonacci, but I do like to use it as a reference point, so the 0.62 and 0.7 level. Then I want to have liquidity and an entry area. So here is where we created the break of structure to the downside. We had these 2 weeks just before the break of structure where we kind of stalled a little bit and then dropped, and then we had equal highs as liquidity. And then this area is where price came in. I set a sell limit in this area, or market execution, I'm not really sure, to cover that 0.7 in case it extends, so like 30 pips stop loss. And then again I want to enter where there's volume. So here it was 3:30. I think we had some news. 3:30 is New York Open. Usually news happen during that time. So I really like trading when there's news or before, because price starts moving. So usually when you have events like today, when this is recording, we have FOMC. So if price is setting up, then usually when there is news, it's gonna move. So that was our entry. I like entering during New York. Targets were close to the lows, to the low here. And then we had another re-entry, I think the next day, next New York session. So it's very important to acknowledge sessions and when they move. So we had a move down, we confirmed. Then Asia session came in, London kind of ranged. London did have the confirmation to go down, as you can see. And we can also I use another Fibonacci just to have that reference point where price can return. So again, New York session, you see the time, 3:30 again, I executed. Here we had a bigger stop loss just because price could have come a little bit up. So I want to play it safe when I'm swinging. And targets the low, so that was almost 6R for 5R in 2 trades without any big headaches. So I like taking swing trades more nowadays just because managing so many accounts, it's easier. So
Yeah. And do you feel like at the level that you are now, taking swing trades is better for when you're starting to trade higher capital?
Yeah, because when you have, let's say, 5 or 6 funded accounts, you can't really trade every single one of them each day. So it's easier to just have the setup, use a bigger stop loss and use a bigger risk. So you risk 2 or 3% of the account on the funded one, run a bigger stop loss with your overall idea, and just let it run till the take profit. But of course, it depends on the market, where the market is situating, how it's moving, the events that are coming. But I do find it easier to manage like this. I don't have the stress of daily drawdown and everything.
Absolutely. And do you feel like as you've progressed as a trader and scaled your account, what are some of the things that you did to scale up your mindset as well?
When it comes to funded capital, the one thing that really helped me get more capital was think of challenges as a business investment. So most people, they save up money and they try to go for the biggest challenge they can afford, right? Let's say the 100K challenge. Instead of that, what if you buy 4 25K challenges with the same money? And then from those 4 accounts, you get one funded or maybe two funded if you trade them. So then you have 1 or 2 funded accounts that you basically take a trade, you wait for the profit split, you get your refund, you get some money, and then you go over again because you have two back, you make some profits. You can buy 4 200K to 25K, sorry, 4 25K accounts again, and then from those you pass one or two, and then in the first funded accounts you make some profits on that also. You wait for payout and so on. So just think of it as a business move, let's say business investment. So that's what helped me. Just think of it as a business investment. I invest money to get some funded capital, and from that I start running the accounts for 1-2% profit every single profit split, and then it adds up.
And I think that's the way you have to go, right? Because a lot of people, they'll be losing in the market, and then it'll really hurt their self-image and their ego. So would you feel like you're at the point where, like, let's just say when you take a loss in the market, it's just an expense? Is that how you see it?
Yes and no. It is an expense. Sometimes I do take stupid losses, so I do need to analyze them again. But yeah, I just view it as an expense. If I have some payouts basically lined up, I can use those payouts to either increase my capital or just get it back to the bank account and stack it there.
Okay. And it seems like you know your system very well. Do you only trade one session, two sessions? Which sessions do you trade mainly?
Mainly just trade London and New York. London I usually scalp trade. So if I see a setup, I go out as quickly as possible. Just because based on my experience, my data, London doesn't really give the big move. Usually trace. And then New York, I like to take the swing trades or the intraday trades with a bigger stop loss, bigger targets, and let them run more. So that's how I figured.
Okay. And a lot of traders, they have, rules to get into the market. What are some rules that you have to stay out of the market?
To stay out of the market, the times. This is the first one and the most important, the time. So if it's between London and New York, I don't go in the market, never. I need to have some liquidity being taken, so some kind of liquidity, as I showed you here. So I need to have some liquidity being taken. And then I'm also very aggressive with the trade management. So if I don't see price moving in my way or rejecting, I tend to cut losses as fast as possible. I think that's one important rule, and it also depends on the trade. If I swing trade, I'm just not looking at it, although I'm just letting it run. So it depends on the setup.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And for your community, do you preach your students to do a lot of back testing? What is some of the message you give to your students?
I don't really preach back testing. Just for testing, live testing, I think it's way more beneficial. Trading a demo account or buying a small challenge or having a small real account and then just trade every single day, because we're humans and we like to cheat ourselves into thinking we're good. So if we're backtesting on TradingView, we may enter a setup and then we're like, no, I wouldn't have entered that if it's a loss, or extend our take profit. So we don't really think in the most pure way. And I also provide them with a backtest software that you can't really go back, so it's only forward. So for backtesting, you can use something like that, but don't use TradingView because you're gonna lie to yourself.
Okay. So
Yeah,
forward testing is pretty much what you preach, and a lot of traders, they when they're coming into trading, they get obsessed with back testing and simulation. I think I'm a big believer as well to get in, get dirty, get in the mud, start trading, get those emotions,
yeah,
because what a lot of people try to do is they try to avoid losses, they try to avoid everything, but I think personally you have to really just learn those lessons as you are growing into trading.
yeah, man, definitely. Like you can't practice emotions on a demo or backtest. Just need to go for it, and then let time pass, and learn from your mistakes and have a good positive attitude. I think that's the best way to learn trading. Not backtesting. I mean, of course, backtesting does help when you have no idea what you're doing. Backtest your pair as much as possible, but nothing beats live testing. Nothing beats staying on the charts all day, watching how it moves, when it moves, why it moves. Nothing beats that.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of traders, they they don't have enough solid people to listen to. Who are some of the people that you listen to when it comes to trading?
I didn't really have any. I didn't have any mentors. As I said, I just put the chart work in to learn by myself, understand how it moves. Um, Nowadays, yeah, I do have more, let's say, trading friends, just because I managed to network with them, Twitter and everything, where I'm valued, so they are valued, and we share experiences. And now I do have some good friends that are also traders, so I not really go for advice, but we do share advice, we do share our opinions every single day, and I think that does help. Of course, it does help when you have more people around you that do what you do. It helps a lot. Yeah.
Absolutely. And could you take us through what your morning routine looks like, getting ready for the markets?
Uh, don't really have a morning routine. I think morning routines are good when you're young and you see those YouTube videos having morning routines, like 5 hours morning routine. I think after you make some money, after you develop yourself, your morning routine just looks like you wake up, you go to the toilet, you check your phone, you check your messages, you check the charts, and then I know I usually go for a walk outside, like 8 a.m. I usually wake up at 8 a.m., go for a walk, drink some water, and then go to my office, make some coffee, go to my office. That's it. I don't really have a morning routine.
In a way, though, that is your morning routine. You
Yeah,
have a process that gets you kind of like in the zone for the markets. So in
yeah,
itself, you kind of do have a morning routine.
yeah. It's a simple one. Back
Yeah,
then, back like a few years ago, I did have a more complex, like wake up, breathe, meditate,
yeah,
all that kind of stuff called ice shower. But once you kind of grow and you also start making money, it's not that important. It's just get to work as fast as possible.
yeah. You
Don't
start to
waste time.
learn, how you work as a
Yeah,
yourself, and what makes you feel good. And I think that's really important. Is when it comes to trading, you really need to know yourself well. You need to know your system well. And for you right now, would you say um, that winning is harder than losing?
when it comes to trading,
Yeah,
if winning is harder than losing, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I didn't really think about that, but yeah, winning is harder than losing actually, because you get used to losing, so losing doesn't. I don't know. It's something that you kind of encounter more than winning,
yeah.
So yeah, winning does become harder.
What are the some of the things that you try to do to make sure that you are winning, and to stay in a calm and relaxed mindset? Because a lot of traders, what happens is they they start winning, they have this euphoria, and then they start actually going backwards and losing all their earned profits.
Yeah. Of course, I do struggle with some of that. Everyone does, no matter how good you are. But I think it's just outlining some rules to yourself that you need to respect. So when it comes to greed and what you said, having profits, euphoria, and everything like that, again, it all comes down with experience and making money. If you know you can make money, things don't excite you anymore. It's just work, right? You just have to do it. So I don't get excited when I make profits. I don't get upset when I lose. Of course, sometimes it's frustrating when you have those setups where it wakes you up out of like 2 pips and then reverses into your favor. That's frustrating, but you need to understand how you are and how you can escape those emotions. So for me, if I have a loss or losing day, I don't look at the charts anymore. I do something else. So it's just some things that you need to understand about yourself and how you can counter them. Everyone is different.
Absolutely. And since you started trading, is there a moment that you had where you felt like you actually hit rock bottom and you were about to like give up? Can you take us through, a moment like that?
uh, I, maybe there was not really rock bottom. I never think I hit that. I hit that before trading, where I had no money, and there were some bad things happening. That was the rock bottom. But ever since then, again, it's about mentality. Now and a few years ago, when I was thinking about going down, going to that rock bottom, I was kind of getting excited because I know the only way up, only way is up, right? So when you go
Yeah.
down, the only way is up. So it kind of excites you. You need to excite you. From now
Yeah.
on, everything I do, it needs to go up. But I did have some down moments. One of them maybe was with funding talent when I
Okay.
was supposed to receive like a 70K payout and they closed down. So that affected me for like a day or two, a week, let's say. But then what can you do? You can't really cry about it. You just find a way to keep moving forward, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? A lot of traders who acquire the skill, you know, they become the asset, so they could just redo it all over again. If you lost all your prop firm accounts, sure you would be, down a bit, but you acquired this skill over the years, and I think that's why this is the best business to be in, because no one, once you learn it, can take it from you.
Yeah, exactly. And also with trading, you do learn a lot more stuff about money, how it works, and you can basically manage a lot of stuff. You can manage investments, and if you know how to trade, you can trade any market. So this is a question I think you get a lot. Also, is like, what if forex trading ends next year or something stupid like that? It's like it doesn't matter because if you learn the skill how to trade, you can. There's a lot of markets you can trade in: the stock market, the crypto markets, like a lot of markets you can trade in if you understand how supply and demand works, because that's what trading is. You can make money. It's basically anything you do.
Absolutely. And hit it like talking about rock bottom again. Something I noticed about rock bottom is it's kind of like a trading view chart, right? There's always another low and there's always another high.
Yeah,
So the thing is that you just have to keep pushing, right? Like I've seen it so many times where traders they lose, a challenge and they think it's over for them, but you're gonna have your high moments, you're gonna have your low moments. And for you, um what are some of the high moments that you've had recently, and how did you manage to stay in that mindset, that proper healthy mindset, to not.
yeah, yeah. That's a tough one because I've experienced something like that recently. Hitting, I think I hit $5.5 million in funding, and I also did a lot of moves. Then, like I bought a new apartment, bought a new car, bought my first supercar. So there's been a lot of things happening right at the same time. So, but I think, and I was thinking about the same thing. Like I need to not give that much attention and just keep focusing. But I think once you start thinking about not thinking about it, you start thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, after hitting that. I've been kind of not on a losing streak, but maybe the markets, I still think it's just the edge. But yeah, I haven't really been going up, just kind of staying at the same level, like going down, going up, going down, going up. So those moments happen to everyone, but again, I understand I think it's completely normal. So I just need to keep pushing it, keep doing the same things, and probably the next high is gonna come in.
Yeah,
Just like a higher low, right?
exactly. And the level that you're at, you can't fake it. So it's like you've literally acquired this skill, and I think that's something you have to remind yourself constantly, right? Because as you said, you upgraded your new place and everything. You pretty much upgraded your self image. So there's going to be a voice in your head where it's like, I can't lose this, I can't mess this up, I have to stay sharp.
Yes and no, because I've been in life. I think everyone goes through like level up phases. It's like you work, 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 work. You stay humble at the same level, and then you're like, okay, not something needs to change so I can go to the next level, right? So that's when you hit like the level up, like in a video game, right? You level
Yeah,
up, you invest some money, and then you start staying at that level, and then again. But it's very important because people make this mistake a lot, is when they start making money and they start level up as fast as possible. They click the button as fast as possible, they level up, and then it's the same thing you mentioned, like I need to, I don't need to fall down or stuff like that. I think it's very important to be ready before you level up, because just like a video game, when you level up, you go to a higher enemy level, so you need to fight more powerful enemies, let's say. So if you're not prepared for that, you're gonna fall back down. So it's very important to have a safety net. It's very important to be sure that, okay, I'm gonna level up, but I can stay at that level for, let's say, 1 year or 2 years without falling back down. So I think that's the very important stuff when it comes to leveling up your lifestyle or just pushing towards the next level. Is like, make sure you're not gonna fall down, or if you fall down, just fall down a little bit, right? You have that safety net.
yeah, exactly. I think it's building strong foundations, and
Exactly. Yeah, a strong foundation.
basically a slow and steady equity curve, right? Slow and steady equity curve, because if you do hit a huge spike, right, you could just fall back down, exactly like the chart,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So outside of trading, what are some of the hobbies you have in your life?
Mm, hobbies. Uh, don't really have time for hobbies. Just, I don't know. Work is a hobby of mine. So building stuff, building my trading academy, my community, that's a hobby. Doing content, YouTube, and everything like that. Hobbies, I don't know. It's the same thing. Going out to eat, going maybe to the movies, drive around, spend time with, I don't know, my girlfriend, my dog. So simple stuff. Once you level up, you go to that level. The simple stuff makes you happy, not going to somewhere very expensive or stuff like that. It's just, you don't get that happiness from it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that makes sense, right? Like it sounds like you like the quiet life, and you just,
Yeah, I love the quiet life.
yeah, you like the quiet life and you just keep to yourself. In the world of like social media and stuff, how do you manage between, living your life and then also the social media life?
That's a very tough one. That again, some of discussions I had in the past few days, and I think that makes me think a lot. Because the way you are in your real life is way different than social media. Social media nowadays is just lifestyle, pictures, videos, content in general. So if I want to build my academy, I also need to build myself as a personal brand. So that means I need to start posting pictures, lifestyle content, and everything like that. And I absolutely hate that. Like, I hate doing that, right? Because nowadays let's say social media influencer, when they go somewhere or they buy something, they just need to record it, right? And they need to record content for that, post it, and I find that very annoying. Because when I go to a vacation or I buy something, I don't really feel like sharing it. But that's just the point of marketing and social media. But yeah, I try to stay away from it and just do it as a business.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, because I think people have to share everything is because people somehow, you know, in this industry is they won't believe you if you don't show them,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You could show them a trading view chart, but then if you don't show them, you know, the MetaTrader screenshot, they're gonna they're gonna think, oh, it's not true, right?
Yeah, but
But
it's
I think,
always something that they're not happy about. Like you share trading view chart, that's not good. You need to share MetaTrader. You share MetaTrader, no, but you need to share your 1 month history. You share your 1 month history, no. Show me the 3 month history. Show me the payout. Show me the interview. Show me every time it's something
but the
different,
thing
right?
is that I think it's a broken mindset with that individual. I think they have a lot of limiting beliefs, right? Because you know, let's say it was just you and me, right? You could show me a trading view chart, I would believe you like that, you know, because we've developed that mindset, that proper healthy mindset. You know, I don't need to see someone's MetaTrader to in order to believe that you know this industry isn't fake, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course. But most people don't think that. Don't think like that. They're just, I don't know. They need to develop themselves more. How can you be successful in trading if you're not mentally elevated to understand everything?
Exactly, and you know, I'm a big believer that your mindset has to scale up before your account does.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
And what are some of the things you know you do, let's say, in your day to day life to keep that healthy mindset? Do you read any books? Do you listen to any podcasts?
Books, not so much. I used to read a lot when I was 17, 18. I think that was the moment where my mind was still accumulating information easily. But again, it depends what you read. I was reading psychology books to understand how the mind works. Nowadays, I don't really read. I do read interesting stuff, but not the usual books. Like maybe something that, like numerology or spiritual stuff or stuff like that, which is like you elevate, and then above that, there's just a few things that you can learn, right? So, like that. Podcasts, I think I listen to one every single day. It doesn't matter. Maybe the people I look up to or some information that I find. I like listening. It's easier to listen. And yeah, that's about it. And still having the same discipline and consistency, doing the same things every day, which does become boring, but it is what it is, right?
It's kind of like a way of life, right? It
Yeah,
doesn't feel like work. It
yeah.
feels
This
like
is
just
how I live.
automatic. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And for you, outside of trading, is there any like, you know, public figures that you listen to? Doesn't even have to be related to trading.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys I look up to and listen to what they're speaking, maybe in different areas of life I'm not really good at. So I don't know, guys like Alex Hormozy, or I don't have any example now. Maybe Mangazi, stuff like that. So people who are good in some areas where I want to learn from. I still listen to other traders. So shout out to Words of Wisdom. Yeah, it's interesting to always have an open mindset and learn from other people.
Yeah, of course. And you know, even me, I'm a big believer. You always have to remain teachable. Is that something you know you preach to your students?
Yeah, of course. I'm still teachable right now. You always have to do it. There's always something new to learn. There's always something that other people are doing that you're not doing. So like arrogance and being like you're if you're like the boss, that never works out in the long term. Every guy I knew that was thinking he's the big shot, about maybe after making some money, he ended up going down very very fast, right?
Yeah,
Because you're left behind.
yeah. You have to leave your ego at the door, right?
Yeah, of course.
And for you right now, you know, as you get more successful, what are some of the goals that you're looking to accomplish, even just for the end of the year?
uh for the end of the year, I think there's like 3 months left. Just maybe maintain the same trading capital, 5 6 million, maybe hit more than that. Trading wise, I want to start building the track record, so the next step into this area. And Then I'm working on rebranding everything that my academy does. So I want to finish with that and then start again working more on it. Just general content business wise, elevate the business more, find new ways to use my money to invest. And networking, also a big one. Networking and basically just prepare my moves for the next years. I think it's very important to know what your next move in a year is or 2 years based on where you're now and where you want to go. So just planning. I think the last 3 months of the year I'm just going to be planning and enjoying a little bit of life.
That's really cool,
Yeah.
man. And for you right now, you know, obviously UWM is getting bigger and bigger in the industry. What were some of the reasons for you to join us?
Honestly, I don't even know how I found the forum. I think it's just Twitter. uh,
Twitter.
yeah, I checked it out. It was legit. Again, after you basically get over the, let's not say top forums, but the more popular forums, there's not really a lot of options. So I was really just looking for legit prop firms that offer bigger capitals and not just 100K. And I like the platform and everything. Pricing was good, so I went for it. I don't really think about it that much. Just checked out the team, checked out socials, checked out the website. Looks good. Sign up. Let's see how it works. And I'm surprised. It's very nice, but so far,
Perfect. And
yeah.
what would be three things you would say to newer traders coming into trading right now?
Are coming into trading, the same things that I did. So spend a lot of time on charts if you can afford it. Just for testing, watch the charts every single day, but focus your attention. So don't watch 10 pairs. Just watch one pair. Me personally, when I started trading, I watched gold for 2 years every single day. So I just traded gold. I was trading gold. After I became successful trading gold, I added more pairs. And I added Euro USD, GBP USD, and maybe AUD USD. And I focused on those pairs. So focus on one pair, make like a schedule every single day that you need to respect. So discipline and consistency. And also go for a live account, a small live account, or a prop challenge that you can afford to lose. So don't go with the mindset of I want to become rich as fast as possible. Go with the mindset of all right, I'm gonna do this to become consistent and disciplined, and then the results are gonna come in. And also just stay away from social media. Don't watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to audit who you're listening to always.
Yeah, because the algorithms, when it comes to social media, and they use the algorithms to make you addicted. So if you're powerful enough to control what you see, then you're gonna be successful. If you let the algorithm control you, and you're basically gonna drown yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And could you just show us, on your dashboard, your certificate and how many trades it took for you to pass phase one and phase two to really like show that it's possible for the newer traders if they just put in the work.
Yeah, so we can't go. I think you can see it. All
Yep.
right. So the certificates, of course, the completion evaluation, the payouts. Let's go to the accounts. So I think the phase one accounts were first ones. So for the challenges, again, I kind of like to use a bigger risk. So I may be risking 3-4%. Phase one, they were copied from each other, so I just traded one of them, and the trades were copied to the other one. So I just took 2 trades. GU sells 30 lots, so the risk was maybe 3% or 4%, I think. And yeah, past that. And then for phase two, here I started with a loss. So I started minus 5%, as you can see. Again, the not so good thing about trading high risk, but I like to get funded faster, and then I recover basically with Euro USD. And then these were like break-even hits, and then another geo setup that brought me some geo scalps actually that brought me into a profit. So again, I focused on the same setup. So sales, I was sell biased, and then I just basically scalped my way towards the profit target. And
Cool.
then
So
yeah,
one
that's
one entry model that you were waiting for in the market, and then you were risking more, but do you feel like it made you pick your deals
yeah.
better?
Of course, when you risk 4%, you basically if you take 2 or 3 losses, you're out of the challenge. So it's very important to choose your setups very good, the setups you have confidence in, and if you have a high win rate with that, of course it's easier to pass that way. I find it easier than just trading 1% and trading a lot of days. I'd rather do that on the live account. And then the
Yeah.
challenges maybe be some aggressive. I can lose some challenges with you guys. I passed from the first try, so I had good setups, but maybe usually on other platforms I may fail like 2, 3, 4 times before getting funded. But once I'm funded, then first payout or second payout, I recover all the investment. That's the way I think about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're really happy to have had you on the podcast, Andrew, and we're looking forward to seeing you grow in the UWM community. And we're also excited to see what's coming for your community as well.
Yeah, man. Excited as well. Thank you.
All right. So best of luck to you, and we'll speak soon.
Sure. Have a good day.